Welcome, Richard. How are you?
Good, thank you, Dev. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you for coming and sitting around. You come from a very strong background of working in different sectors, but I think from the audience point of view, could you please take us through the tapestry of the history and your experience and your work and your life as well?
Sure. Look, I think for me it started when I was in my mid-teens, and I often refer to this as a moment of impact. So my mother was diagnosed with MS when I was 14, and it happened very suddenly over a weekend where she just could not get out of bed. And that progressed through many months of doctor's appointments and also specialist appointments to eventually settle on a diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. So I always felt attuned to the emotional connection with my mum, and I guess that's probably where I learned the emotional connection and compassion when it comes to community services. So I spent many years with my mum, being her nurse, being her physio, being her emotional support, and just learning that the connection you make with people is most important. It's not necessarily what you do, but it's that emotional connection, that emotional support. And that kind of has formed my career over many years. I actually moved out of home when I was in my early 20s. My mum said, "This life is not for you, you're early in your mid-20s, you need to go out and explore the world," and so I did. And moved overseas and ended up working in a home for people with disability in the UK. And that again formed my emotional connection with people about wanting to have a good life and a better outcome, and what is now termed as person-centred care. How do you get into the lives of people that they can walk a journey with you and you can walk a journey with them? And so from that point really I had set myself up for, this is what I want to do with my life, and this is my calling almost. And then I moved to Australia and ended up working at a home for people with dementia and frail aged, and spent a couple of years doing that, got some qualifications, and then moved to youth and young children and a C-class hospital. And from there it's just expanded into accommodation, disability, aged care, and now ended up in the caring space again as the CEO of Carers WA, an organisation which I'm very much affiliated to because of my caring background, but also because I spent 4 years between 96, 97 I think, to the turn of the century, that's not the turn of the century, in the role of carer support coordinator, and then only to come back 15 years later as head of service delivery and then in the CEO role.
Wow, lovely.